I want to make a few comments here if I can. You're a stranger talking to you. You know, your woman, socially, will have very little understanding, tolerance, regard, compassion. The myth that women are compassionate does not extend itself to the social pariah. Your short, hideous-looking man, De La Kiki syndrome, Quasimodo. This is the man I'm talking for. The poor man who is addicted to the presence, feeding on, being built up by worshiping from afar. Locker room stories, comparing himself to cool guy. He's tall, the TDH, tall, dark, and handsome crap. Sets the standards. Sets the expectations, also sets the rules of the game. I'm being very practical, realistic. 20-80 Parati curve. 20% of your studs are getting 80% of the action. The other 80% of us, and you can break that down into, some of us are more hideous and repulsive. I'm talking about it from the woman's perspective as they look on us. We're getting shadows. We're getting illusions. All I can say is thank a merciful power for giving me my movies, my entertainment, all of my escapes that give me a vicarious pretense experience, that give me the concrete visuals that I can use to build my masturbation fantasies and make it as realistic as possible, predicated on the fact from hypnosis that a well-placed fantasy, a well-directed fantasy, reinforced by a lot of concrete observables, locker room stories, visuals, movies, entertainers who specialize in being dream merchants, fantasy sellers. Madison Avenue marketing is all dependent on that, providing me a vicarious pretense experience and fooling me, allowing me, giving me all the suggestions, all the predicates that allow me in fantasy to believe I'm actually participating, I'm actually getting the physical gratifications, the social confirmations, and specifically in this context from the women, that your cool guy gets. We're equal. Not true. Not true. But the cool guy who gets away with everything just because they look better, just because of prerogative, just because of the fact that the cool guy can inspire the woman to volunteer to confirm him sexually, to volunteer to release the sexual tensions in the sense and on the moment of urgency, without any preludes. Your uncool guy, the 20% on the bottom of that parietal curve, we're the ones who have to dance through hoops. We're the ones who are judged. We're the ones who are put in pillory. We're the ones who are mocked, ridiculed, and blamed for everything. Igor the monster and the good doctor. The good doctor is a TDH. He's respected in the community. Everybody reveres, everybody respects the good doctor. But there's another side. We're all of us, whether we admit it or not, are a Jekyll and Hyde, the opposite side of the same coin. But the good doctor has a reputation in the community. But he needs to release the demons. That's where Igor comes in. Igor is hideous. He's a monster. He's Mr. Hyde. Ugly to look at. A deplorable, a genuine deplorable. And the good doctor cons Igor the monster into doing his bidding. All the perversities, quote unquote, all the sexual fantasies that the good doctor, who's respected as a pillar in the community, wants to have gratified. He does it and then can escape into Igor and blame Igor for everything. So Igor gets ridiculed, mocked, and judged. Really the doctor who's doing all these things. And for Igor's reward, the good doctor will say, Igor, if you do my bidding tonight, if you'll do everything I would like to do, sexually, socially, that I cannot do because I'm a pillar of the community. I have a powerful reputation. I will reward you with your favorite pictures. I will reward you with locker room stories. I will give you fantasy, masturbation, pretense, fantasy, concrete material. And the Igor the monster, or we can call him the Cecil. This is the another version of that. The Cecil. This is the small man who has no aura of virility about him, and can only have vicarious pretense gratifications. He has to figure a way to give to himself all the things his society will never give him. And because of this, he projects away all of his power to act in whatever way he could, with whatever limitations he has to work with. We all want to cut corners. We all have larceny in us. We want something for nothing. So he sells out to cool guy. This is what that scenario, Dr. Good and Igor the monster, opposite sides of the same coin, it was trying to get at. He sells out. He projects away all his power to the TDH, who in turn promises, I will intervene for you. I will fix you up. Yes, I will. I can do it. Wouldn't you believe it? Wouldn't you believe it? You see the results of the TDH's power. You see what he can do and what he can get away with. because of the way he appears and because of his ability to chat up the woman, to impress her and inspire her. And the little guy, the Cecil, powerless man, impotent and pariah, Delatiti, he sees all this and says, wow, wow, what's the secret here? How do you do it? How can you do it and I can't? What's the secret? What's the formula? And he's trying to pick up on Cool Guy's vacuum. And Cool Guy is enjoying looking like a god to the Cecil. And in the Cecil's mind, if he wants to, this is the dude who can do it for me. He's got the connections. He knows how to do it. If he'll represent me, if he'll talk for me, if he'll be my personality, I'll get it. I'll be able to get. All the women will be coming to me. What am I getting at here? This is Madison Avenue. This is marketing. This is entertainment. This is the ultimate escape. This is the real swamp. This process is the real obscenity. The way out for the Cecil is he's got to build up his body. You need a foundation. You don't come without a foundation. You got to have some hard bark on you. You got to have some tough in you. Something to work with. You got to, in this sense, the ultra-conservative has it right. You have to lift yourself up by your own bootstraps. But, again, on the other side, I agree with former President Bill Clinton when he says, you know, the ultra-conservatives, Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin, and their ilk, this idiot Savage, Michael Savage, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Rugged individualism. What happened to good old can-doism on an individual basis? They would all have us believe they were raised in a log cabin that they built themselves. And they went from that log cabin under their own power and did it playing by the rules into estates and mansions from rags to riches. Now, if you believe that story, I've got a Brooklyn Bridge to sell you real cheap today. Let's get at it.